Understanding Laissez-faire Economics, a detailed exploration. Laissez-faire is an economic philosophy rooted in the belief that minimal government intervention in the economy leads to optimal outcomes for businesses and society. Originating in 18th-century France, the term translates to "leave alone," emphasizing a hands-off approach to economic governance. This article delves deeper into laissez-faire, its historical development, critiques, and its implications in contemporary economic discourse. Core principles of laissez-faire economics. At the heart of laissez-faire economics lies the conviction that the economy operates best when free from government regulation. The key tenets include natural order. Laissez-faire proponents argue that economic competition is governed by natural laws akin to those found in nature. Hence, markets are self-regulating and can adjust to changes in conditions without external interference. Minimal government role. Advocates typically believe that the government's only roles should be protecting national borders, safeguarding private property, and providing public goods, like roads and parks, that a free market would not adequately supply. Freedom from taxes. Laissez-faire economists often argue against taxation as it is seen as a hindrance to production and innovation, preferring an economic environment where businesses can thrive unimpeded by government fiscal policies. Historical context. The principles of laissez-faire were first popularized by the physiocrats, a group of French economists, in the mid-1700s. They emphasized the importance of agriculture-based production in free markets, distinct from the mercantilist policies dominant at the time, which favored heavy government control over trade and commerce. Key figures. 1. Adam Smith, often considered the father of modern economics. Smith built on laissez-faire principles in his seminal work, The Wealth of Nations. He famously introduced the metaphor of the invisible hand, suggesting that individuals pursuing their self-interest inadvertently contribute to societal well-being. 2. David Ricardo, another prominent economist. Ricardo extended laissez-faire arguments by focusing on free trade and comparative advantage, advocating that countries should focus on their strengths for mutual benefit in a globalized market. Attempts at implementation. One of the most notable early applications of laissez-faire concepts was the 1774 policy reforms by Anne-Robert-Jacques Turgot, France's Controller General of Finances, who sought to remove restrictions on the grain trade. However, his initiative led to severe price inflation and riots, which ultimately resulted in the re-establishment of government controls. Despite this rocky beginning, laissez-faire ideas gained traction during the Industrial Revolution, leading to rapid economic growth but also significant issues, such as unsafe labor conditions, child labor, and pronounced wealth disparities. Criticism of laissez-faire economics. While the idea of minimal regulation is appealing to many, critics argue that a completely laissez-faire approach can create harmful consequences, including economic inequality. Laissez-faire can exacerbate wealth gaps, leaving vulnerable populations without protections or support. Market failures. Critical theorists, including British economist John Maynard Keynes, contend that not all economic issues can be solved by market mechanisms alone. Keynes advocated for government intervention to smooth out economic cycles and mitigate recessions. Negative externalities. Unregulated markets may lead to environmental degradation and public health crises as companies prioritize profit over social responsibility. The modern relevance of laissez-faire. The relevance of laissez-faire economics in today's policy discussions cannot be overstated. Many countries emphasize free market principles, yet almost all economies incorporate some level of regulatory measures to address market failures, protect consumers, and ensure fair competition. Pros and cons of laissez-faire. Pros. Increased innovation. With reduced regulation, companies may act with greater creativity, leading to new products and services. Efficiency. Without the stifling effect of regulations, businesses can operate more efficiently and adapt quicker to market conditions. Cons. Consumer vulnerability. Lack of regulations can put consumers at risk due to unsafe products and exploitation by monopolistic practices. Environmental concerns. Without oversight, businesses might neglect environmental considerations, leading to degradation and long-term consequences for society. Conclusion. Laissez-faire remains a significant yet contentious aspect of economic theory and practice. Its foundational belief in the benefits of limited government intervention contrasts sharply with cries for increased regulation to safeguard against inequality and exploitation. In today's complex global economy, the challenge lies in striking a balance between fostering free markets and ensuring protections for all societal members. Understanding the historical, theoretical, and practical implications of laissez-faire is essential for informed discussions about the future of economic policy and regulation.